There was once a large monastery located in a region of China, where approximately 500 monks resided, all of them dedicated to practicing the path of self-realization under the guidance of their master. One day, a man came to the monastery with the desire to become a disciple. Addressing the Zen master, he expressed, "Lord, I wish to know the truth, to know myself." The Zen master looked at him and replied solemnly, "If you seek the truth, you must be willing to risk your entire life. It may take a lifetime to discover the truth, and even then there is no guarantee that you will achieve it in this lifetime. Are you ready for this?" The aspirant replied with determination, "Sir, I came here without backing down. I am ready for the challenge." The master then instructed, "If that is your will, do one thing. In this monastery there are 500 monks. Take on the task of preparing rice for them. Continue to do so from dawn to dusk. When you are tired, rest. Awaken, resume the task. Don't get involved in anything else. Don't allow other thoughts to distract you. Follow that path. Also, don't come to me again. I will come to you when necessary." The young man accepted the task and began to prepare the rice according to the master's instructions. With 500 disciples in the monastery, there was a great demand for food. Thus, the aspirant began his work early in the morning, continuing until late at night when exhaustion overcame him. He slept in the same room where he prepared the rice, remaining silent and avoiding interactions with the other monks. For months on end, as he devoted himself to the task, his mind was plagued by a myriad of thoughts. However, as these thoughts found no new stimuli, they gradually faded away on their own. Over time, his mind became serene, and he even forgot his own name. In a thought-free state, he continued his task without meditating or consulting scriptures. The monastery's oldest disciples considered him insignificant and clearly inferior to them. 12 long years passed in this same routine. One day, the master announced that his time was running out, and it was time to choose his successor, the one who would lead the monastery after him. The criterion was clear. The disciple who achieved self-realization had to leave some lines near the master's door at night, lines that expressed his entire spiritual journey. Many disciples considered this opportunity. One of the oldest disciples, versed in Buddhist scriptures and considered a possible successor, presented his lines, "The mind is like a mirror where the dust of thoughts and desires accumulates. Cleansing this dust is meditation. When the mirror of the mind is freed from dust, salvation is achieved." Upon seeing the lines the next morning, the master was furious, labeling them crap. The oldest disciple, although wise, remained silent, as he knew his knowledge was superficial. The master completely rejected the lines, causing surprise and discussion among the disciples. This incident became the focus of debate throughout the monastery. Two disciples approached the old disciple who had arrived 12 years ago and continued to pound rice tirelessly day and night. As they heard the argument, he laughed softly. Intrigued, the two disciples asked him why he was laughing. He replied, "I am laughing because the master was correct. All these lines were useless and worthless." The disciples were shocked and asked him to write some better lines. The rice disciple explained that he did not know how to write as he was illiterate, but he was willing to share some lines if they would write. Agreeing with the proposal, the disciples accompanied him to the master's room. The rice disciple expressed his words, while another disciple recorded them on the wall, signing as rice disciple. They expected the same reaction from the master as before, but the lines uttered were surprising. "The mind is but an illusion. There is no mind, no mirror of the mind. And when the mind does not exist, where can the dust settle?" He who knows from this, he knew the truth. Upon seeing these words, the master got up in the middle of the night and addressed the young rice disciple who was sleeping. He woke him up and handed him his staff and clothing, declaring him his successor. However, he ordered him to leave the monastery immediately and go far away, as he knew that other scholars in the monastery would not tolerate the fact that a simple disciple of Rice achieved enlightenment while they did not. Rice's disciple, touching his master's feet, left the monastery that same night. This story reminds us that meditation is not limited to sitting silently with your eyes closed. In fact, it can be practiced while walking or performing any task. The true meaning of meditation lies in being completely immersed in the activity we perform, to the point of losing awareness of our own body, just as the rice disciple was so immersed in his task of pounding rice that he lost the sense of himself. reaching finally self-realization, following the same Zen tradition. Being in the present moment means being completely immersed in the here and now, without disturbing thoughts, as the mind arises only when there are thoughts. When thoughts cease, the mind also disappears, revealing only the pure true self. In fact, it is not necessary to perform other spiritual practices to know our true nature. We just have to dedicate ourselves completely to the activity we are carrying out, so that the work becomes a form of meditation. I hope you enjoyed it, and that this content has enriched your life in some way. This is the purpose of the spiritual journey. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.